I'm Tech Sergeant Rich Lean. I'm the Assistant Fire Chief for Fire Prevention here. I'm very proud of what our firefighters do down here. There's more to the fire department than just fire trucks and hoses and that sort of stuff, but the daily rhythm, the daily beat of the fire department down here revolves around the brave men and women who work operational shifts. When other offices or other work centers go on, quote unquote, go on alert or increase their posture, we're already there. We're already there at all times. That's what we're here for, is to do that. We have, on a daily basis, we have 15 or 16 firefighters riding fire trucks. We have one person in a dispatch center answering your 911 calls. We have 2 fire inspectors inspecting buildings, reviewing plans. We have the fire chief and the deputy fire chief, which are administering the fire department and taking care of those items that are common to management. The operational day for our firefighters, the ones that are going to respond to that car fire or respond to that house fire or that gas leak, their day starts at 7:45. We have a military formation down here, which we refer to as roll call. And at that time, the oncoming folks take responsibility. That each one of them takes a share in the responsibility for the fire safety at this base. After they receive their truck assignments for which truck they're going to ride for that day, they receive their training assignments or any other duties that might be needed throughout the day. The first couple hours of the day are spent checking out vehicles and equipment to make sure that they're going to work at all times. We have to check that every day. The fire trucks have to be ready to respond at a moment's notice, day or night. Christmas morning, doesn't matter. 4th of July, doesn't matter. They have to be ready to go at all times. So they get checked out from bumper to bumper, top to bottom, every single day. Very thorough checkout. And all the equipment does too. The saws, the power tools, those get checked out as well. After those checks are made and we're fairly sure that everything is going to work the way it's supposed to, the firefighters normally enter a period where if they've got any personal work to take care of, they get that taken care of. It's a time to get your personal stuff done. It's also a time if you're in upgrade training or you've got some studying to do, that sort of stuff, that's when a lot of them get it done as well. Obviously, in the middle of the day, we have lunch like everyone else. After lunch, we have training for the day. Now, those sort of classes revolve around anything you might imagine, anything from how to bring tools and equipment up to the top of a building, CPR, putting out a burning airplane, learning how to drive a new fire truck. Each fire truck has a different license, and each member of the fire department has to learn how to drive each particular truck because it is unique and different. So in the afternoon, the training is pushed real heavy. Later in the afternoon, they enter a time where they're required to do some sort of physical conditioning. Again, the fire department just can't go everywhere it wants to go or where we feel we may need to go. So we have our own small gymnasium here, workout room we call it, with weights and treadmills and that sort of stuff. And that time of the day is when most firefighters do their physical conditioning. After the evening meal, most firefighters relax a little bit. If you're a visitor to the fire station, you might see after supper firefighters outside throwing the football around, inside perhaps maybe shooting pool, that sort of stuff. Again, they can't leave. They have to stay here, and in fact they live here. They spend more time here at the fire station than they do in their home or their dormitory. Evening time rolls around and it starts to drag on. Most firefighters put their bed together and go to sleep for the night, and hopefully have a nice night's sleep and don't get rousted out of bed by too many false alarms or actual emergencies. Then they get up in the morning, they clean the fire station so that the next shift that comes on duty, they have a clean station to work in. Everything's the way it should be. If any dishes were dirty during the day, if the trucks got dirty, that sort of stuff, everything's clean. 7:45, the next shift comes on, and those firefighters get a chance to go home for 24 hours and do the things they need to do off duty. The firefighter is going to work a 24-hour tour of duty. Then he's off for 24 hours. He's going to work 72 hours a week. That's how many hours out of the week he's going to be at work. 72 hours a week. Now, granted, he's not rescuing babies from burning buildings for those whole 72 hours, but he is here in case of emergency, in case he's needed. So he needs to be ready to go at all times. When he has his off-duty time, his 24 hours off, that's his time to unwind, his time to relax. But then 24 hours later, he comes back on duty. In a 2-week cycle, he's going to work 6 24-hour shifts. After that, he's going to get what we call a Kelly day, or a 3-day break. So he's going to get 3 days in a row off where he does not have to come to work. His shift will still come to work, it's just that he won't. So every 2 weeks, he'll get 3 days in a row off. So in a 2-week cycle, that firefighter that you may see in the dining hall with a fire truck up there for a meal, or you might see in the BX on his off-duty time wearing his fire department windbreaker proudly, that person's working 144 hours in a 2-week period. And I'd like to stack that up against anybody else, I'll tell you that much. As many folks know, Grand Forks Air Force Base has the KC-135 aircraft assigned here, and that's our only mission-assigned aircraft. The fire department here constantly trains on that aircraft, on its characteristics, on its fuel load, where the personnel are located inside. Each firefighter also needs to be able to make entry into the aircraft, take control of the aircraft, shut the aircraft down, get everyone out safely. That's another thing that we do here as well. And not just for our mission-assigned aircraft. They also need to be able to, at a moment's notice, make their way into any burning aircraft in the Air Force or Department of Defense inventory, take control of it, shut it down, and remove the air crew and the passengers. So it's not just the KC-135 aircraft that we're familiar with. We're able to do it with every aircraft in the Department of Defense inventory. Many people view the fire department as break glass in case of emergency. When they do see the regular firefighters, they're wearing their full protective gear, helmets and axes and air packs on their back and that sort of stuff, and sometimes they're indistinguishable one from the other. But we take great satisfaction in our job. In many respects, we sometimes feel we're kind of the unsung heroes out there, but that's all right. That doesn't bother us. The satisfaction has to come from within in this career field. You're not always going to get the pat on the back that you may want. You may have to pat yourself on the back sometimes because other people might not know what you did out there in the middle of the night when the wind is blowing and it's a 60 below wind chill and everybody else is hunkered down in their house and you're out there resetting alarms or taking care of a small trash can fire or a dumpster fire or something like that. A lot of people don't know about those things. Firefighting in the Air Force, the fire protection career field in the Air Force is extremely rewarding. When other people have an emergency, they call 911 and we show up and we take care of their emergency for them. We have to be able to handle any situation, anything that's thrown at us. We have to be able to take care of it. We can't call anybody else to take care of it for us. So we solve our own problems. We always put the fire out. The gratification comes from knowing that we did our job. Everybody's going home the next morning. We don't leave people behind. We don't let freelancers do whatever they want. We operate as a team, as one unit. And it's a brotherhood. It really is. And that's what draws many of us to the career field, is the sense of accomplishment, the sense that I know what needs to be done, that I'm going to trust those appointed above me because they're not going to gamble with my life. that I'm going to back up my fellow firefighter, and we're all going to go home the next morning. That's what it's all about. The fire protection career field is not for everybody, but if you've got the courage to act, and the desire to serve, and the ability to perform, then it's for you. And we're looking for people like that, and if you can pull your weight and you want to be part of a winning team, then maybe you should consider fire protection as your career.